Tonight on Quinnipiac Live, the world of communications is ever-changing. We'll show you how Quinnipiac School of Communications is preparing students to meet those changes and become industry leaders. Join the conversation. Quinnipiac Live starts now.
Hello and welcome to Quinnipiac Live. I'm your host, Katie O'Keefe, and tonight we have an exciting show planned for you. We welcome those watching us live through the Facebook and YouTube channels. Be sure to like and hit the subscribe button down below on YouTube. You can like this video or ask a question in the comment section below to be entered to win our Bobcat prize pack. One lucky winner will be selected live at the end of the show. So we invite you to join the conversation. Submit your questions in the comments section below, and they will be answered live on air by our guests. First, we'll talk about Quinnipiac School of Communications and what sets it apart from other schools. Joining me now are Luna Charles, Jonathan Banks, and Mary Dunn. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So for you two, why did you pick Quinnipiac School of Communications?
I applied to Quinnipiac specifically for the fact that they had a small classroom. I really enjoyed being able to not just be a number and really have a connection with not only my classmates but my professors. And speaking of my professors, the relationships that I've developed with them have been really great. Dr. Cisco, Dr. Willis, and even Mary Dunn here, like we have a great relationship. Right. They're very supportive of their students, and they're really involved in their students' lives, both in and outside the classroom as much as you want them to be. So it's really been a great experience building that relationship with my professors, yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me it comes down to a few things. One of them is that the 3+1 program is offered here, and for me to have the ability to complete my undergraduate degree in 3 years and do a master's for my 4th year is really important. Someone who's I like to academically challenge myself, and being able to go to a school, I don't know any other school that offers that, which is awesome. So that's great for me. And another thing is I've known ever since I was 5 years old, and probably even younger than that I wanted to do sports journalism. So Quinnipiac has a phenomenal sports journalism and journalism program. Just to be able to take part in that is just something I couldn't pass up.
Yeah. So Mary, what are some of the type of unique opportunities for students here in the School of Comm?
Oh my goodness, there are so many, but the first things that come to mind for me are student organizations. So we work really hard to make applied learning situations in the classroom. A lot, we take theory and put it into practice as much as possible, but there's nothing that can substitute just hands-on experience. For instance, what you're doing now, right? Organizations with any of the student media, such as Q30, yep. And then I'm faculty advisor for one for strategic communications specifically, which is AdSpot. And so we function as a small agency. We bring in guest speakers, create real campaigns, and then do agency tours all over the local area. And so there's several different variations of that. And so depending on what your areas of interest are, you can kind of round out your academic work with that extracurricular kind of plug-in. And so whatever kind of context you would like it, you can find a space to kind of go and practice those skills.
Jonathan, I know you're in Q30. Can you explain a little bit about the hands-on experiences you have there?
Yeah, I have a lot of hands-on experience in Q30. One thing that I want to do when I'm older is produce a sports show. That's kind of been a dream of mine, and I get to do that here at our student-run television station, Q30 Television. So I'm an executive producer there, and it really exposes you to the rigors of a real professional environment. You're on deadline. You have to make a rundown, make graphics, produce B-roll, full screens, get the show on time. It's all live, and it's great. Like, it airs everywhere, the shows, so that's just great experience. Besides that, I get to cover all different types of teams. I'm a beat reporter for the men's hockey team, so I travel to all the hockey games and get to report on the team, whether it be multimedia content through videos or written features such as game recaps or analytical articles or feature articles about the team. So that's been a great experience. I was able to travel to the ECAC hockey quarterfinals last year at Cornell University as a freshman.
That's awesome.
So just think another school will never give you an opportunity like that, and being able to do that at Quinnipiac as a freshman to cover playoffs in arguably the best hockey conference in the country is really cool.
Having a smaller community,
absolutely.
Right? You have an opportunity. It's very common for students to find multiple organizations to plug into. So it's rarely do I hear somebody who's doing none or one. It's always like, I'm in 3 or 4. And it's like, wow, okay, so we are really rounding out everything we're doing here.
Yeah, and that's the goal.
Experience.
Luna, I know you're involved too.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I wear so many different hats on this campus. You
got it.
Yeah, like I'm involved in, I'm a community assistant, which is like an RA. So I oversee the off-campus houses that Quinnipiac offers. I'm the president of the Black Student Union Club. And again, speaking to like the experiences that you learn when you're in an organization and being able to organize events and host events like on campus, off campus, and really just being able to like put that event planning aspect to use has been something that I've really loved and enjoyed. And you know, like I really see myself really getting involved with that in the future, and like without being able to have that opportunity here on campus, I probably would have never discovered my passion for that. And yeah, like I'm part of the Honor Society for the School of Communications, Lambda Pi Eta, so it's kind of just like, there's a lot going on over here. A lot going on over here.
Wouldn't have it any other way though, right?
Exactly, no, it keeps me busy and it keeps me happy though.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Mary, we have a question for you from one of our viewers.
Okay.
Lisa asks, does the School of Communications offer career guidance and advising?
Oh my goodness, yes. So we have specific staffers who are responsible for career development and everything. So even tomorrow we have Comm Fair, which is going on. We've got 20 local different professional companies, that's what they are, coming in with recruiters, with people to basically shake hands with students, take resumes, talk through career advice. They're also heavily recruiting for new hires and internships. And so that'll be housed in our building. Students will be able to plug in during the day and really get that experience of what does a small interview feel like, that networking side of things, but then constantly throughout the entire semester, whether it's with your academic advisor, who's always happy to talk about career advice, or we have specific staffers who are available to kind of help guide through the internship process, which everybody's required to kind of participate in. And it's part of the fun game though, of getting everybody placed and passing off different internship opportunities. And we're very focused on thinking about the end goal, which is like getting into the real world and applying things as much as possible. So there's lots of those resources throughout. Lots of those.
And I mean, there's so much to look forward to with internships and applying for jobs. I mean, that's crazy. You guys got a lot going on right now. But if you think back to when you first got to campus, how did you get acclimated here?
Personally, when I applied to Quinnipiac, I applied to live in a global living learning community. So I was living with a lot of people who had different backgrounds, people from all over the world, from China, from down south, and everywhere like that. So we were able to kind of build a community, and I'd go as far as to say like we built a family, because even till this day, with us living in different areas as seniors, we are very much connected, and we still kind of enjoy each other's company, make a point to kind of, you know, just hang out with each other, grab dinner, go to events and stuff like that. And then on a personal individual level, I just took it upon myself to kind of just explore the campus on my own. I felt like Quinnipiac is a very safe and secure campus to do so. So 2 to 3 nights before like my first day of classes my freshman year, I was walking around to the different buildings, College of Arts and Sciences, School of Business, School of Communications, and just kind of seeing where my classes were, and just enjoying that, you know, the fresh air, especially produced from that green gas. So it was great. It was great. I really loved my first few years here, and like being able to kind of build the community here.
That's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, for you?
Yeah, well, I had something a little different, but also similar. So when I came into school, I went in a living learning community for 3+1 communications. So for me, that was awesome, because you're going in with the students that are the same, you're living with students that are motivated, determined, passionate, like really know what they want to do and really want to go after it. So that was great. But besides that, you're living with kids that have similar interests that you're friends with. And I lived with a ton of kids in cohort last year, and I lived with 6 of them this year, like in our rooms divided up in the hallway, because everyone just loved each other and had such a great time, because you're taking the same classes with each other. Not only that, you're studying together and you're learning more about each other, and it really is a great experience to be able to live with all those different types of people.
And the classroom feels very similar, right?
Yes.
It's smaller, and so you
Yes.
build a cohort and you're seeing familiar faces, and the faculty have the same experience where you get to know your students and see them progress through their years. And it's really rewarding to kind of just build those kind of connections and see it all grow.
For sure. The community feel here at Quinnipiac, definitely. And Jonathan, we have a question for you from one of our viewers. Jim asks, how many credits per semester are required for 3+1 accelerated dual degree students?
So, in my case, I can only speak to my case specifically, I'm taking 18 credits a semester, which it does sound like a big number, but to me that's exactly what I've known throughout college, and it's nothing really different, and it's nothing that I can't handle, because if in an accelerated degree program, you know that your work comes first, you know that you really have to do your homework and everything like that, so I've never seen that as an issue, but 18 credits is the number when you're a communications 3+1?
So a full-time student is 12 to 15 credits,
Right.
which is
Yes.
4 to 5 classes. So 3+1 is taking anywhere from
Extra class.
1 to 2 extra
and like
classes
I don't
a
know
semester.
anything different. So like if you take 15 credits, like it feels the same to me because I don't know what your schedule's like.
Right. And so you not only take classes during the spring and fall semester, but you take during the summer and the winter.
Right. So I took 2 classes this past summer to fill university credits, and in the winter I took also university credits. But it's optional whether you take university credits. But in the summer it is suggested that you take classes so you can graduate on that 3-year track.
Right. And so, Luna, for you, or maybe for Mary with all of the clubs, what are some of the public relations clubs that are here on campus?
We have a couple.
Yeah,
so
we
there's
do.
PRSSA,
yep.
which is associated with the Public Relations Society of America. So it's the student variation of that. They also have a class called Bateman. So it's an elite team that kind of plugs into a national student competition that's hosted through PRSSA. So that's kind of done in conjunction. And then we also have Quinnipiac.
Yep.
And so Quinnipiac is functioning as an agency as well.
Student-run
So,
agency, yep.
and they're working with real clients,
Yeah.
whether that's campus or community-based, and it's all different variations of applying the work and building basically a portfolio of experience. Is what we're
And
really
Luna, what
trying
have
to do.
been your experiences in those clubs?
So I am a member of PRSSA, and just I have gone to some of the meetings of Quinnipiac as well. But PRSSA actually has been one of the biggest things of like being able to like get that professional connections in the world, and being able to build that community and that development. I went on a PRSSA like ran event that they had in Connecticut, and meeting like the different public relations leaders and having that communication with them and seeing what they felt like was important, what was as students that we should know when going into that field, I felt like was really beneficial for me because like I'm a graduating senior about to enter the real world. So like
Scary stuff.
I want to know all as I can to know how to get myself prepared. So it's been
Right.
really great. Yeah.
Those works can really help with that professional
Yes,
development, kind
yes.
of bridging kind of that divide.
Right,
That transition makes it a lot easier.
So definitely a lot to look forward to, and thank you guys for your time tonight and coming out. But that's all the time we have for this segment, but don't go anywhere because coming up, we'll talk about study abroad, QUNLA, and more. So come visit our campus. There are so many opportunities for you to see the Quinnipiac community for yourself. For more information on upcoming open houses, preview days, admitted students days, and more, visit qu.edu/studentslive. And don't miss your opportunity to win a customized Quinnipiac School of Communications Bobcat prize pack. Like this video by the end of the live show, and we'll select one lucky winner live at the end of the show. And remember to join our conversation by submitting your questions in the comments section below. They will be answered live on air by our guests. As communications professionals in the 21st century, it's important for students to be prepared to work in a global community. Joining me now to share some of their unique perspectives and experiences are Leah Lavin, Victoria Amorodora, and Jared Kevelson. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you so much.
So what type of experiential learning opportunities have you guys taken part in, and what did you learn from them?
So I'm actually in the 3+1 program here. So despite the accelerated course load, I was able to study abroad twice, and I'm very lucky to say that.
Wow.
The second semester of my sophomore year, I was able to study abroad for 4 months in Australia, in Queensland, Australia, which was amazing. And then again, last semester during the winter break, I was able to go to Costa Rica for 3 weeks to study sustainability and sustainable agriculture at Earth University in Costa Rica.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was awesome.
And Victoria?
Yeah, so I actually did 2 experiential opportunities that I felt were really beneficial to my career. So I participated in the QUNLA program in the fall of my junior year, where I had an internship in content marketing, got to do like a production assistant with Netflix out there. And then also this past May, I went to London as part of an advertising course for 8 days, where we studied the advertising in England versus in the US.
Wow, that's awesome. And Jared?
And I had the really incredible experience last December to go to South Africa with the film department. We filmed for a week in a national park doing a safari documentary. Then we had the chance to go to Cape Town and film about their water crisis that was going on, do a full documentary there for 3 weeks. And then once we were done doing all of that filming, we got to come back, and it went along with a course called FTM 355, which is documentary production. And we took everything that we filmed there and we put it into documentaries that we then got to put out on the internet for everyone to see. So not only do we have those incredible experiences, but we have all the videos to look back on for all the work that we did.
Right. And Jared, we have a question for you from one of our viewers. Melissa asks, are there any local film festivals that students can participate in or volunteer at?
Yeah, absolutely. So Quinnipiac University actually does a 24-hour film festival. So you get the idea, or it's a 48-hour film festival. So you get the idea on Saturday, and you have that amount of time to come up with the idea, write the script, get it approved, film it, and then the next day everyone goes and they present it, and there are awards, there are cash prizes.
Wow.
Really incredible experience.
Yeah.
No, it's super, super cool for students to get involved in that and actually get production experience, which Quinnipiac lets you do from day one if you're in any production course. So that film festival is awesome. And you also get the Mountain Film Festival, which is a professional film festival that travels around the country, and one of its stops is Quinnipiac University. So absolutely incredible opportunity for any student interested in production or in production to go there and actually see professional movies screened here at the school.
Wow.
So there's a lot of film festival opportunities here at Quinnipiac.
So a lot going on between the three of you, going everywhere. So Leah, how did you plan going abroad twice, being 3+1? How did you manage all of that?
It definitely, the planning helped. Day one when I came to Quinnipiac, I knew I wanted to study abroad. It was actually a big reason why I went abroad, why I chose Quinnipiac, because they have so many opportunities. You know, whether you want to go for a semester, for a week, for 3 weeks, they find something that works for you. And I made that clear to my advisor from the first day I met her. So we started planning from then. You know, we hit different things along the way, and she still was able to find the classes I needed so I could graduate on time and make sure everything was all set while still having these amazing global experiences. But definitely planning from day one helped.
Yeah, that is good. Planning's key.
Exactly.
And we have a question for you from one of our viewers. Luke asks, after studying abroad in Australia, Leah, do you feel it was hard to readjust being back on campus after being abroad?
The way my program actually worked, I went through teen, and the way the dates worked, I came back about 2 weeks before Quinnipiac ended. So I was able to move right back into my dorm and hang out and like see everybody again before we left for the summer. That definitely helped with the transition, you know, being able to be welcomed back to the campus by all my friends in the community before having to come back in the fall. I didn't feel much of a difference between when I left that fall and the fall before abroad and when I came back. I honestly felt more prepared coming back in the fall because I had tackled this new type of learning in Australia, because no matter where you go, it's a different type of learning than you're going to get here. And I feel like I came back here a better student, which allowed me to adapt better to my current classes and everything going on.
And we have another question from one of our viewers. Alyssa asks, as a freshman film major, what are some highlights that you have achieved in your first year? Anybody want to tackle that question?
For me, I'm a double major in film and advertising, so I can tell you that from day one on campus, you have the opportunity to walk into the equipment room and take out cameras and audio equipment and lighting equipment. You can start making videos from the first day that you're here, which is incredible. And then at the same time, you have coursework that's teaching you that. You have 100-level production courses, you have 100-level screenwriting courses, you get to go into the TV studio and work with the switchboard and work with the green screen and work with the studio cameras. Then you also have film production courses. So I mean, there's so many memories I have from my first year on campus, filming in the dorms and finding places over campus and even off campus to go and make shorts for whatever assignments that we had. There's almost like too many highlights to go through.
Right,
So
yeah.
I couldn't find a specific one, but to tie that all together, you have so many opportunities here as a film student from
Right.
day one, so you're gonna have a lot of memories if you come to this campus and decide to go into that program.
And you mentioned a lot of the technology and the tools that you get to use even as a first year student. So we have another question from one of our viewers, and maybe you could speak a little bit more to it, Jared. But Jeremy asks, does the communications program offer the ability to take out film equipment used for projects? You said yes, so you explained before. But does Quinnipiac update this equipment often?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It actually blows my mind. We left, we were here last semester and they had some really fantastic equipment that the upperclassmen will get to use. The more expensive equipment, the harder ones to use, you need to get certified with. They don't just let you take out certain cameras, certain pieces of equipment. We went away having only one type of camera that could film in 4K, and we came back this semester and they had 5 different types of cameras that could film in 4K. DSLRs, cinema cameras, we even have 2 or 3 red digital cameras for students to take out, which are the cameras that they're using on Netflix movies and Marvel movies. So to have that opportunity with that equipment room that they're constantly updating, the people who work in the equipment room are constantly looking into what's coming out. Students are telling them about new products. They even just got a whole set of gear in for mobile filmmaking, so if you want to do stuff with your phone, they can help you set that stuff up. So they're always staying up to date with all the products that are there for the students.
And speaking of staying up to date, another question asks, what about the new technology such as drones and virtual reality? Is that available in the equipment closet? Can you speak about that a little bit?
I haven't seen any of it yet at the university, but I know that they're talking about getting those kinds of products. Those kinds of products are difficult to work with because drones, you need to have students certified with specific licenses. There are a lot of legal issues with those. VR, they're starting to talk about, and they're trying to implement those kind of programs on the school computers and get those kind of headsets in for students to work with. But at the moment, we don't have that. They are looking into it, though.
And while students don't have exactly access to those types of technology, I do know that professors are teaching with drones and virtual reality, which is very cool. So we get to see it for a hands-on first. So, and we have another question from one of our viewers, and she asks, what are the study abroad and other opportunities for graphic and interactive design majors?
Yeah. So as a double major, advertising and graphic design, the QNLA program is an awesome place to start. There are so many opportunities for design out there. I had friends that worked in a university actually doing graphics for their sports teams, and you can work even like with marketing teams and content marketing where I was. There's plenty of graphics to do different things that come across screen and Netflix and things like that. So you can definitely work in a lot of different fields with the QNLA program. I think it's a great place to start. Yeah.
And more about that program. How did you get interested in it? What was it like applying?
Yeah, absolutely. So the QNLA program was actually one of the main reasons why I came to Quinnipiac. I had seen it at open houses and online, and with advertising, LA is one of the biggest places for it, so I knew I had to be out there. And it's actually really easy to apply. You would work with an advisor, say, hey, I want to apply to this program, and it's a really easy application. They would work with you as to why you want to go, basic things like that, few requirements, and then you would work on getting an internship out there. So once you would secure an internship, working with the advisors and things like that, then you're all set to go out there.
And how would the three of you say the faculty have been here in supporting you and achieving your success?
They've been crucial to my success by far.
Absolutely incredible.
Fantastic.
I can't speak enough about the relationships in the School of Comm and how amazing they have been with just making it such a comfortable and exciting experience. Like in the classroom, I've always felt comfortable asking questions, going to them for anything. The relationship in the School of Comm, it really feels like a family, and that's one of the first things I'll say to anyone when I talk about it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Leah, a question for you. How do study abroad experiences prepare you for a future career?
So I actually had never been out of the country before I came to Quinnipiac, so I never really knew what to expect when I would leave the country. And leaving the country introduced me to so many new people, so many new cultures. Just being in a different country and being surrounded by all the cultures that come together there was amazing. At the university I studied at in Costa Rica for 3 weeks, for example, there's only 400 students there, but they were from 40 different countries.
Wow.
Which was incredible to experience, just all the different cultures coming together. And that's something I'm never gonna forget, you know, whether I go travel again, hopefully. Or
that's
like
the dream.
Exactly, I know. Or job interviews, or just when I'm trying to, for example, I'm public relations, when I'm trying to market to a certain target market, now I know that market a little bit better. If it's abroad, if it's a certain culture, whatever it may be, I feel like it's really expanded my horizons, not only as a person, but in my professional life.
And Jared, a question for you from one of our viewers. Brody asks, what is life like in the communications program? Can you describe a little bit like what a day in the life is like?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to start, you have so many classes you go to all over the campus. You're not just in the communications building. One of the best things is you do everything in communications when you come to Quinnipiac. With us being a liberal arts school, you go into every discipline, and even within your own program, say I'm in film, we do all the other communication school classes, coursework. We do journalism, we do graphic design, we do production, we do screenwriting, we do media writing for social and digital. So your day consists of a lot of different things. So you're not, you know, one full day for you or a full week for you isn't going to be sitting in one film class, sitting in another film class. You're going to be in a film class and a psychology class, then you can go pop over to the caf and hang out with your friends and get some food and go pop up to Starbucks and see more people.
Right.
So, you know, your day is all over the place. You get such a rich mix of information and education and experiences throughout your day and throughout your week.
Victoria, you're nodding your head. You definitely say
Yeah.
that you're all over the place sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a great campus, so there's so many great places to hang out. But I mean, in School of Comm, like, I'll just go there and hang out. Like, you know, you're gonna see someone you know there because it really is a family. So I walk in and I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit. I'll see what professors are in their office and just go stop by and like catch up. So it's a really, you know, normal and exciting place to hang out. Like, it's just
Right.
comfortable. Like, I could spend the day there. Yeah.
Right. Jared, one of our viewer asks, what editing software do the film students use?
So we are blessed, I'll put it that way. We are so lucky that we have so many Mac labs, editing suites with the Mac computers, brand new Mac computers uploaded with the entire Adobe suite, always updated, always up to date. So all the computers around campus right now have the 2019 Adobe suite on it. And we even have workshops you can go to at the film school or the School of Communications to learn Photoshop and Premiere and After Effects. And even that's part of your coursework that you take when you get here immediately. You edit your movies for your 100 level classes in Adobe Premiere, and in your 100 level graphic design class, you learn how to use After Effects and Photoshop, which is fantastic because that's one of the industry standard softwares.
I can speak to that too. The editing softwares in those Mac labs, all the programs are on there. They're for free. They're open 24/7. So if you're working on a project at 2 a.m., like that's no problem. You can go to the lab and do it right there,
Yeah.
which is
Absolutely.
great.
Yep.
Always available.
Yeah.
Another question from one of our viewers. We have a lot. So
Good.
what are freshman residence halls like? Are there any special living areas for communications majors?
So there's a bunch of different options for freshmen. The first one would be doubles. I personally lived in a double my freshman year because as in the 3+1 program, you're given the option to live in a cohort. As of right now, the only cohort for communication students would be that 3+1, but we have a bunch of different live well, living, learning communities that students can partake in. So if they want to meet people in their major, outside of their major, different interests, stuff like that. So we have the doubles, then we also have quads, and then we have suites, which is 4 sets of doubles.
Sweets.
4 sets of doubles connected by a common room. Sometimes they share a bathroom. Sometimes they even have a little kitchen, stuff like that.
The variety really is awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
And you don't know where you're going to live, but it's nice to be able to, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
live with more people, less
Yeah.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also one more question, can freshmen have cars on campus?
Sadly, no.
No.
Unless they
No.
need not accommodation.
But you know, it's a good thing because freshman year you want to be on campus. There's so much to do. There's so many places to go. And if you needed to go anywhere, there's always shuttles or Ubers and things like that. So there's plenty of ways to
Yeah.
get around if you needed to.
Always accessible.
Yes.
Well, that's all the time we have for this segment. Thank you guys for joining me. But don't go anywhere because coming up, we'll talk about student outcomes and internships. Come visit our campus. There are so many opportunities for you to see the Quinnipiac community for yourself. For more information on upcoming open houses, preview days, admitted student days, and more, visit qu.edu/studentslive. Don't miss your opportunity to win a customized Quinnipiac School of Communications Bobcat prize pack. Like this video by the end of the live show, and we'll select one lucky winner live at the end. And remember to join the conversation, keep the questions coming. They will be answered live on air by our guests. While Quinnipiac offers a diverse learning experience off campus, we always encourage students to land internships off campus. Joining me now to talk a little bit about their experiences are Alex Taglieri, Sarah DiGiamo, and Erica Cinchosi. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Having us.
So for Sarah and Alex, what internships have you had and what did you learn from them?
So I've had a handful of different internships across a couple different fields. So as a film major, I've had some in video production. Most recently in that area, I was with NBC Universal, specifically with USA Network as a production intern. And then I've also interned with some development companies doing reality television. And then as a marketing minor, I've had some internships on that side as well, doing more corporate communications, strategic communications, and currently I'm with Sikorsky doing strategic communications for them.
So a lot.
Yeah, a lot of different
A lot of
internships.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Sarah?
So I've actually had a variety as well. I started out at News 12 Long Island, which was a communications internship, and then I had 2 marketing internships as well, one at Mince and Hope, where I worked with Erica. And then lastly, I have a business internship right now that's at Morgan Stanley, and that's kind of allowing me to apply what I've learned in communications to the business world.
And so Erica and Sarah, I know you have that connection. Can you describe a little bit about your job and how you got it?
Yeah, absolutely. So right out of graduating from Quinnipiac in 2016, I applied to Mince and Hope, which is an advertising agency based out of Avon, Connecticut. I started out on the account services team as an account coordinator, and now I'm an account executive. So really working with a variety of different clients on any of their needs, from creative, digital, media, anything. Really primarily working with clients in the financial services industry, entertainment industry, and Department of Defense as well. So really across the board, and just kind of applying what I've learned. And Sarah had the opportunity to kind of work on a lot of different clients as well.
Sarah, can you talk a little bit about those clients and that experience?
Yeah, so we worked with a huge variety of different industries, whether it was a weight loss company I worked with Deloitte, and just helping them, whether it was to go global rather than just national, or whether it was just rebranding or anything to that extent. I kind of was able to give my opinions to them, and that was really cool because they actually listened to what I said as an intern. And I really just kind of helped them do market research as well to figure out how to enter certain markets.
And so for Alex, how did you apply your film degree when you were in your internships working there and doing everything that you were?
I've applied in a lot of different ways, especially today. Companies love having that video production experience, so knowing how to edit and being able to pick up different editing platforms as well. So on campus we use Adobe, and I've had to use that at some internships, but others use Final Cut Pro, Avid, and having professors who teach you how to be versatile has really helped me just adjust to those transitions as well. Knowing how to act on set has helped a lot. That's something we learn on our first semester on campus, and it's something that's applied to all of my internships, even to last semester with NBC. So I've definitely seen a lot of overlap with what I learn in the class and what I get to do at my internships.
Definitely. So besides experience, what are some of the tools that you've used to your advantage in the School of Communications that have helped you get your internships, excel at them, and things like that?
The Career Development Office has been really helpful for me. They're very welcoming and love to help with going over your resume, your cover letter, preparing you for interviews, and it gets really stressful, with all those applications and interviews, and it's nice to have someone to talk to calm you down, tell you that you're doing the right thing, and just make sure that you're as prepared as possible when you go in for your interview.
Yeah, of course, it's a big deal, so you've got to be prepared.
Yeah.
And Erica, I understand that you actually were a public relations major, but now what you're doing doesn't exactly relate, but can you describe how that transition was like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had the public relations major, and I loved that major and thought very strongly that I might want to enter a career in public relations, but I think kind of as these two have talked about a little bit, Quinnipiac School of Communications does such a great job of creating a foundational program, and really anything that you choose in the School of Communications that kind of allows you to maybe enter something a little bit different. So to be honest, I didn't really know exactly what account service was going to be when I got into it. I knew advertising was something of interest to me, but from the public relations standpoint, I think some of what I learned in terms of writing and in terms of sort of the strategic planning aspect of it was really what was most appealing to me, which is a large part of what I do at Minson Hoke now. So I think that the skills that I learned in terms of really being able to help clients define goals and objectives and identify the right media mix and tactics that are going to help them be successful was most compelling to me, and was kind of how I ended up where I am now. So very grateful to what I learned, and even though it wasn't an exact translation, it was really, really helpful.
A flawless transition, really. So it really did help you.
Yeah.
And Alex, a question for you from one of our viewers. What types of studios does Quinnipiac have, and are these studios open for students outside of class?
So there's been 2 studios on campus that I've used a lot. We have the Edward McMahon Center, which you get to use in pretty much all of your film classes that require a live set. So from your freshman level multi-camera production class, you're using that, and then all the way up to advanced level multi-camera classes. It's a state-of-the-art studio. It has incredible cameras, a TriCaster, or the switcher that you would see in any control room, and it's really helpful. You're able to rent it out outside of class as well if you want to use that space for any class projects. And then we also have a media suite, which is completely student operated. It's a little bit smaller, but it's what the student media organizations use, so we're still using really nice cameras that we're constantly updating. We have a control room with our own switcher and ability to live stream to a bunch of different social media sites, and any student is able to work with that, even if they're not in the School of Communications. So there's tons of opportunities to be on a live set at Quinnipiac.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another question from one of our viewers, shifting gears a little bit. What type of security does the campus have? Do you feel safe and secure?
Yes, there's never been a time where I was walking around on campus that I didn't feel unsafe at all. I think that they do a really good job of, there's always public safety cars around, whether they're just patrolling campus or their cars are parked throughout the campus, and there's also the blue lights. If you ever do feel unsafe, then they're available if you need them.
Yeah, that's a great tool to have too.
Yeah.
I've also never felt unsafe on campus. I mean, it's an enclosed campus and it's obviously very beautiful, but I've never felt unsafe either.
Yeah.
For Sarah, why did you choose to be a media studies major, and what exactly is it?
Yeah, so media studies is basically just a general gist of different types of media, whether it's television, film, public relations, advertising. So that's really why I chose the major, because I wasn't sure coming in what I wanted to do, where I saw my career path. So I chose the communications media studies route so that I would be able to have kind of a feel for what all the fields entail, so then I could make a more informed decision at the end.
Yeah, and you have definitely been all over the place, I feel, with your internships, the different coursework that you have, your media studies major. So what is it that you hope to do when you graduate?
So I'm hoping to work in marketing right now. I'm kind of seeing what industry, because I have a business internship right now, but I also love working in communications and advertising. So somewhere in the marketing field is definitely where I see myself.
That's great. Another question from one of our viewers that we can all help answer. What are some of the highlights of the journalism program? Do students learn how to produce a live newscast and use a control room? And Jordan, the answer is yes. I can speak for that because I am a journalism major. The highlights of the journalism program is really the hands-on experiences. Alex, you mentioned the Q30 television station. It's all student run. We have our own control room, like you mentioned. The whole TriCaster is in there. You watch from the desk, the anchors, they have IFBs in, they write their scripts, you're running a teleprompter, you're directing people. So there is a lot going on, and everything that I just touched on is some parts of the newscast. And that's how you learn how to run one, is just by doing one. And like Alex and me, we're both in Q30, and between us and everybody else that's involved, you can probably speak to it a little bit too. There are so many people there to help you too, to learn and to learn from, like the older people and things like that, right?
Yeah, everyone wants to help each other. I love when people are working on their reels in the suite, getting feedback from the other members on that. And we have a big alumni base as well that is always available if you want to send your reel or just reach out to them with any questions. So it's definitely nice to have people who are working in that field. We have alumni who are working in TV stations across the country, and it's definitely helpful for journalism majors to have that.
And I would say it's definitely unique to Quinnipiac. I don't know many other schools that have student-run television stations where we can really direct and decide how it's all run, which is really cool. Another question from one of our viewers: connections are huge in the business. You're not wrong, Brody. How does Quinnipiac enable students to network, and especially through all of your internships, how did you guys network through those?
So I actually got one of my internships through the career fair, the one I have right now at Morgan Stanley actually. I just started talking to him and we had a really great conversation, so I ended up getting hired, which is really great. Also, the communications newsletter that we receive every week, I got one of my internships actually at Minson Hoke from seeing the ad in the newsletter, so they definitely do what they can to show you different internships that are out there and just help you network where they can.
Yeah, and some of the organizations help as well. I'm involved with the Association for Women in Sports Media, and just yesterday they had an event where students went to the Brooklyn Nets game and they also got to go to a panel with women in the industry. There's tons of events like that. I was at a Skype interview with someone who works for Bleacher Report, someone who worked for New Jersey Devils, so it's been really awesome to just get to listen to them speak, hear about their career path, and also ask questions as well, and try to form a relationship with them for when we graduate.
You never imagined being able to meet somebody like that, right? Like that was
Not
probably
at all.
really cool.
Yeah, last year I got to go to Madison Square Garden for a tour of that. I met the Rangers, digital host, and I never in a million years thought I'd be touring like MSG. But
that's awesome.
I was there.
All thanks to Quinnipiac and their connections.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. That's all the time we have for this Quinnipiac Live Communications episode. But be sure to visit our campus. There are so many opportunities for you to see the Quinnipiac community for yourself. For more information on upcoming open houses, preview days, admitted student days, and more, visit qu.edu/studentslive. And before we leave you, we have drawn a name from all of the likes on the video, and our lucky winner of the Bobcat prize pack is Deliza Murray. Deliza, congratulations and thanks for watching. We hope, Deliza, please email us at social media at qu.edu to claim your prize. Definitely want to get that prize, right? In the meantime, we hope to see you on one of our campuses.